welcome to Teach Grace International. I'm your host Ruth Kiribo. So today we want to look at cocoa farming in Ghana, and by the end of the lesson you should be able to know some of the areas around the world where cocoa is grown. Then specifically in Ghana, get to identify the cocoa triangle growing areas. Remember, it's grown in Ghana but not everywhere. Then you need to know the factors responsible or favoring the cocoa farming. Then you need to know the cultivation of cocoa, as well as the harvesting and processing of the cocoa. You look at marketing of cocoa. You look at the significance of cocoa farming to the economy, and finally you get to look at the problems facing cocoa farming in Ghana. So like here you can see we have the cocoa plants. Yeah, they are green, so it means they are yet to ripen, because once they ripen they'll be yellow in color. You can see the others which are red. Beneath you can see some leaves which can act as compost. Then you can see the distancing, the spacing between and across, the cocoa plants in such a cocoa plantation. So first of all, cocoa is traced to have been from the Central America. That's why it can be associated with some areas like the Amazon region. And it's believed like the Aztecs used to make a drink known as chocolate from the cocoa. So the physical factors that favor cocoa farming include high temperatures of over 26 degrees Celsius. This is to allow ripening as well as harvesting. Then you need high and well-distributed rainfall between 1,300 to 1,500 millimeter annually, because cocoa is a crop that thrives where there is availability of moisture. Then you need to have low altitude areas below 700 meters above the sea level. Why? Because low-lying areas, the lowlands, are less prone to winds, and the temperatures are a bit favorable, unlike on highlands where the temperatures will be cooler. Then we need slightly drier period during harvesting. Then you need fertile, well-drained soils which are rich in iron and potassium. Then you need protection from sunshine, which could have otherwise caused evaporation, and you need also protection against winds which cause the pods to fall off. In terms of the human factors, you need availability of capital to
history.
And you need good transport networks to transport the cocoa beans from the collection centers to the port facilities where it will be exported. So here it's before ripening. Look at that. So before ripening, they are green and they were yellow. So you can see you need to do constant weeding to remove unwanted crops that would have otherwise caused competition with the crops. In terms of cultivation, you need to prepare the land. Then you prepare the cocoa. From the cocoa seeds, you plant them in a nursery bed like this one. Then once they're mature, that's after 4 to 6 months, you can get to transplant them to the main field. where they are planted and intercropped with crops such as cassava, yams, and bananas to provide shade for the crop, as well as to provide income for the farmers before the cocoa matures, to prevent soil erosion, to act as a source of food, and to provide mulch, as well as to provide shade conditions against wind and sunlight. I forgot to mention the soil. You see, cocoa can thrive in many areas, on loamy areas, clay soil areas, volcanic soils, as long as the soil has fertility and it can provide nutrients for the cocoa. Oh well, it is perfect for that job. So after you've done that, you continue doing manuring and weeding regularly while tending to the crops. Then fruiting begins after 5 years, with abundant production being reached after 10 years. Then pruning is constantly done to rid the plant of any branches that may grow, to allow good quality pods to form on the branches. So yeah, that is after 3 to 5 years when you can see the cocoa have started to flower and produce fruits, like these ones. Oh, yeah. Then these trees produce optimally for between 15 to 20 years. So roughly by the time they are 35 years, that is when the yields will start to decline, or when the trees are attacked by diseases. So you can decide to cut them down and destroy them. And on such areas, you need to leave the area fallow, just lying idly, so that it can regain its fertility. And what you need to know is that the tree is constantly pruned off the small branches that may grow after it, to allow good quality pods to form on already established branches. So these are the branches that you might they are pruned off for quality. Look at that pod. Perfect. So assuming these crops, these pods were exposed to winds, they will actually fall off, and that's why we're saying they need to be intercropped with other crops. You can see maize at the background. So in terms of harvesting, we use large machetes or cutlasses. Like this is a cutlass that can be used. Okay, you first need a long knife to remove the ripe pods off from the stems and branches. Then you split open the beans, the pods, using a machete to expose the beans, and thereafter you'd cover them for fermentation. So these are the pods upon harvesting. So you can see upon opening that pod, we have the seeds being covered by a white bulb. So once you want to remove the bulb, you use fermentation like these. So you can use a hand. So yeah. I want to look at how fermentation is done. So there you see them. They are fermented, then you place on top banana leaves to allow fermentation. This fermentation serves three purposes. One is to produce heat, causing the pulp to drain away, to kill the beans and prevent further germination, and to improve the flavor of the beans. Thereafter, you can get to wash and clean. Then you take them to the farmer's home where they're spread out on forms for drying. There you go. That's how they get to ferment. Yeah. So after fermentation, you get to wash the beans, and they are taken to the farmer's home for drying. So here you can see they can be put on platforms, or you can use items like beds or chandarwas to sun dry them, yeah, until they are brown. So when they are brown, they will produce a cracking sound when pressed between the forefinger and the thumb. The dry beans are then put in bowls and taken to the collection centers. So once they've been put in those stocks, they are taken to the collection centers where they are inspected and bought by the licensed agents, as the farmers are paid cash for their beans. Really, the price depends on the quality. Um, this one's drying. So thereafter they can be ground into cocoa powder. Welcome to the garden. Hata kukumbusha puzi kabisa. Significance of cocoa farming to the economy is that it has led to infrastructural development, creation of jobs, earning of foreign income. Like when Ghana gets to export the coffee beans into the cocoa beans into countries such as Britain, it gets US dollars. To Germany, it will get the pounds. Yeah. Then no, Britain, they'll get the pounds. In Germany, I don't know, but in the United States of America, they'll get the US dollar. So, and some of the problems the farmers are facing is fluctuating prices, and this makes the farmers to lose morale. Yeah, so that means even the amount of cocoa that will be sold, the value will decline significantly. Sometimes it's attacked by diseases and pests, which means there'll be low quality yields. Another problem that is faced is inadequate labor supply because of the younger generation going to other areas in search for greener pastures. So as such, you find there is inadequate labor. We also have inadequate capital, so where the farmers don't have sufficient amount of finances to enable payment of workers, as well as the transportation of the cocoa beans right from the farm to the house where they are dried, and from the house to the collection centers, from the collection centers to the warehouses before they are sold. Okay, you can see the bananas. Sometimes they can be intercropped with or plantains. They can be intercrop together with cocoa plants. However, you find some of the crops that are grown together with the cocoa do not perform the function they are supposed to do, such as provision of shade. Instead, some are introduced pests. Yeah, they harbor, they start competition, and you find that some cannot really protect the cocoa beans. Instead, they need the protection themselves. Sometimes it can be unsustainable, when you go to you do deforestation just to have a cocoa plantation, and thereafter, after 20 years or 35 years, you're having to leave that place fallow. You find it can be unsustainable, yeah. But what can we do? We can plant more trees, maybe along the fences, yeah, to just ensure the forest cover is even. You can see like cocoa is really a lucrative business. Look, like this is the beach skills hub Africa, and they're doing the following course. I mean, it looks worth it, like especially in the food processing, as a beverage, as a bar snack, as ice cream, spread butter, toffee, dark chocolate and white chocolate. Those ones are for chocolate bottle drink production, chocolate biscuits, chocolate cake, and many others. Look at this. The drink is yum, yum, yum. Look at that, look at that. Yeah. Oh, delicious. These are the flowers. This happens between 3 to 4 years. With this one, they use this need to do weeding, as well as maybe to remove the bugs, then get to straight. So this is what will happen at 35 when the yields will decline. And see even how the leaves are behaving. You can see a poor farmer there has sacks of cocoa. They're going to mint money. This is what happens like when things like monkeys attack. You see, this is a challenge. Look at that. And this marks the end of cocoa farming in Ghana. Hope you've learned using the pictorials provided below. Please get to know the agency tasked with marketing of cocoa beans in Ghana, and the various ways you can utilize cocoa beans, the cocoa pulp, yeah, the cocoa leaves, like the waste can be used as manure in the farm. However, you find like if the cannibals get to feed on them because it has that chocolatey smell and taste, it can be poisonous to them, so you need to be careful. Until then, bye. I've been your host, Ruth Kerubo. See you in the next episode.